Updated Business Practices by Lloyd Hatcher. Digital growth is the increased use of digital equipment in business and for person, which is defined by your dictionary as a physical unit of equipment that contains a computer or microcontroller. Today, devices are digital, including smartphones, tablets, smartwatches. In contrast, there are numerous non-digital or analog devices such as thermometers, electric fans, and bicycles. Automobiles, washing machines, and many other products are both digital and analog. Digital growth has impacted organizations through advancements. Advancements in technology have the potential to decrease the time needed to complete a task, or in some cases, eliminate the need for a business process or job function. Technology has without a doubt an impact on society. As a matter of fact, we experience this effect on our daily lives. It has an effect on the growth in the economy, culture, and living standard. It is, however, important to note that the benefits are a double-edged sword, with some being detrimental and others being beneficial. One should be very careful to get to know how the effects of society get to affect the business activities and operations. Customers want to have a complete, personalized experience. The store needs to try their best to provide a unique in-store customer experience. As the technology used in retail becomes more focused towards AI-based programs, the store is going to need to ensure that senior management and digital roles command the right skill set to deal with the new technology, train staff accordingly, and influence key partners with business. Who is oneself when it comes to digital identity, and how is it developed? Well, Technopedia defines digital identity as an online or networked identity adopted or claimed in cyberspace by an individual, organization, or electronic device. This runs deeper, as identities, especially those referred to digital, are the who am I, the person behind the electronic device. Identity is the beginning of everything in our world, but how does it develop? Well, there are many different methods that impact developing one's identity, such as social economic status. This is referred to by the American Psychological Association as status being the social standing or class of an individual or group. It's often measured as a combination of education, income, and occupation. Digital forums are online discussion sites where people can hold conversations in the form of posted messages. One of the advantages of online communication is that it may allow people to fulfill needs that are not being met offline. Forums of this nature allow ones to express their feelings and opinions without that face-to-face contact. Reactions may receive will either support or contradict the original expression. Since anyone can join a digital forum, participants can be of any age, background, or status, adding their opinions and feelings to the topic. These opinions may be influential on creating an identity because one can receive information from all reaches and ages. The negative side of this is that views may be carried in bias or may be carried out in false or incorrect information, so participant beware. Identity development in the digital world and the physical world are different, but I believe ultimately lead back to the same person. Individuals and employees as a whole will have to embrace a culture that will create an environment that allows everyone to express their creativity as well come together as a team to create. This as well will create the ability to resolve issues, but has to be a top-down approach. Embracing this ideology will aid with developing the identity of any organization. There are three main sociological theories that can describe an individual or a store's ability to access technological resources. The implication of the conflict theory is that those in possession of wealth and resources will protect and hoard those resources, while those without will do whatever they can to obtain them. This will be very important for the store to find ways to access the resources they need to support the store. The symbolic interaction theory creates the meaning for technical resources because society places the importance of needing them. So the store will have to stay up to date with evolving communication platforms to stay relevant because society has placed an importance on those platforms. And then the structural functional theory supports the ability for access to technical resources because society has formed the way organizations or people function. The store will need to put benchmarks in place as quality assurance to protect it from purchasing or getting involved in technology that they don't need. The store needs to stay focused on what's important to them and support it in the necessary means. Societal change due to technology comes in the form of communication. The old days of face-to-face or door-to-door sales are gone. People want the personal experience via digitally so they can access anytime, anywhere. What this implies for the store is that it has to be sure to have a platform to have digital access and ability to market their store via a digital platform. This will also mean educating its employees on the use of these platforms and or hiring people who are experienced in the field, which will come with a financial investment. What is the digital divide and how can this impact the use of technology in the store? Well, digital divide is the separation of those who know how to use technology and those that don't. It's the knowledge gap created when one group of people have greater access to digital resources and are better formed, better educated, and across new developments more quickly than people who either don't have those things or limited access. Improvement and advancement in technology will affect everyone, but there are some things that individuals and organizations can do to impact change and develop in the digital age. I believe that one concern for all is humans have to keep up with technology. Education will be the main driver for this, and for some companies, investing in company education programs to keep employees up to date will benefit them greatly. The conflict theory, as I stated, is a theory propounded by Karl Marx that claims society is in a state of perpetual conflict due to competition for limited resources. This theory justifies the reason to support upgrading technology as to always hold control. If you have the latest app and can market to wide audiences, then you have the power of the stores that don't. Dealing with the symbolic interaction theory argues that the most important part of the understanding someone is understanding the meanings that the person or a group of people attach to things. If you want to understand the workplace, for example, you need to understand what it means to the people working there and keeping the employees of the store engaged, which will support their worth and allow them to grow, bettering the company. The functionalism interprets each part of society in terms of how it contributes to the stability of the whole society. Society is more than just the sum of its parts, but rather each part of society is functional for the stability of the whole. This can be seen in an example of any office system which has different positions with different tasks. Those tasks are not done independently, but in relationship to others, so they work together for the proper functioning of the entire company. Technology will always need to be updated to ensure that all parts of the company or store can function as a whole. Changes to technology will impact language and communication, since today people use emojis and abbreviated words through texting. Each of these has changed the way one communicates, as sentences are no longer used, but instead the abbreviations have become prominent. Differences in access to and familiarity with technology come in the forms of generational differences, where older generations may not be as tech savvy as the younger generations. Socioeconomical differences come in the form of certain groups might not have the ability to afford technology or the education to understand and operate it. So how will this impact our store? Well, communication could change within our store for employees and consumers with various types of technology because of the generational gaps or financial inability. The store will need to be sure when using digital platforms that all can use to attract customers of all backgrounds. When hiring, the store will also need to ensure that it has a solid training program and ensure all of its employees can use the technology the store incorporates. Deviance in the digital world is defined as a range of activities, some considered illegal, some considered immoral, many considered both. There's a growing sense that the internet presents some unique opportunities for deviant behavior, such as virusware, cyberterrorism, computer hacking, online harassment, and certain self-harm behaviors. It's also facilitated existing crimes such as fraud, identity theft, and money laundering. Physical deviance is all those I just mentioned, but done in person. Both are being performed by people. For the example of the store, there are potential internal threats such as employees that could do actions such as theft, stealing time, or committing fraud, and external threats such as customers that could do the same. Based on both deviances, digital and physical, call for upgraded technology that provides security to protect each type of this deviance. Considering the conflict theory, it could explain deviance in a store. The conflict theory suggests that everyone is fighting for resources. If this is the case, then the store could be susceptible to theft by employees or customers. The store could potentially review its pay practices to ensure that employees are paid a fair wage for their position and allow for upward growth. Symbolic interaction theory could explain deviance in the store because poor people have a different interpretation of symbols and access to different symbols than people who have more wealth. To use a specific to illustrate the general principle, imagine going to an upscale restaurant and being presented with unfamiliar utensils and food. So for the store, it'll need to ensure that its symbols can translate to all people regardless of any indifferences. Technology has become an inseparable element of the modern workplace, and it's quite difficult to think of a business or workplace without making a noteworthy reference to technology. The store must upgrade its technology and evolve with the times and technological advancements. Technology permits businesses to extend rapidly and proficiently. Upgrades in technology will allow the store to focus on a more extensive client base, keep an engaged workforce, and assist in building profits that can reinvest in the store to ensure its longevity. References.